Agitner Shabbos Parsahs Beshalach. This video we're going to do in English. I've had a couple of requests of people asking me to make a video in English. I'm working on making more subtitles on my videos, on my Yiddish speaking videos, but I will make this video in English because it's an idea that the idea we want to talk about is a very, very fundamental Jewish idea and something we have to instill within ourselves and something we have to live with. It's not just an idea. This is something we have to take with each other, with ourselves every single day of the week. So I figured I'll make this a perfect video to make in English. It's going to be a little deeper video, more philosophical video, so I'll try to make it as simple and as layman as possible. And I'm going to try and make it as short as possible. So, the Torah this week, there's different stories that are going on. The obvious story is Yetzias Mitzrayim and the splitting of the sea. Beshalach Parsahs. Then comes the story of the Mon, which everybody was busy this week, Parsahs Hamon. But after Parsahs Hamon, once you go past Shishi and Shvi, the Yiddish Kinder, the Jewish nation, has started to do what the Jewish nation does best, complain. And this is not good and that is not good. And Moshe, being the selfless human being that he was, went before God and listen, they want this, they want that. And oid matas kalini, a little bit more. If I hold out a little more, they're going to kill me. What should I do? So the last story is the Maimer Ivu, where they don't have nothing to drink. And he comes to Hashem and he tells, listen, this is a story, they need to drink, and Hashem tells him what to do. So the Pusik throws in a little anecdote. Vayikru Shaim Amukim. They called the name of the place Masu Imrivu, the fighting place, Al Riv B'nai Yisrael, on the fight that the Jews made with Kili. They were complaining and they were making an uproar. And what's the name Masu? Masu means Melushin Soyan. Test, they tested. They tested God to say, is Hashem within us? Bekirbaini, literally translated, means within us, not within us. It could mean Bekirbaini, it could mean two things. It could mean within our midst, or it could mean within ourselves. So let's build on this pusik, because why would the Torah have to say this? It's called Masu Merivu because they tested God to see, is God within us? What's pshat in this pusik? You have to say, what's pshat? Just when you say in English, just to go through the tradition of saying anything in English, you have to throw in a what's pshat. So, the idea we're going to talk about is a very fundamental idea. It's an idea of extreme importance. So, the idea goes as follows. And this is a shout out to my good friend, because I was working on this video, on this idea throughout the week, and my friend Zevi Stern, my chavrisa, showed me this Gemara, and the Gemara I'm going to talk about now brought everything together and completed the idea, so thank you for that. The Gemara in Masechtas Sikha says as follows. The Gemara is Daf Mem Hai. The Gemara, the Mishnah in Mem Hai, goes into detail to explain the process that they did while the Beis Hamikdash was standing and that we do up until this day when you say Oshanas. Yeah, the towards the end of the Yom Tov Sikkos, Shana Rabbah, what is the pisman? What is the process? What do we say? So there's a machloiket. Rabbi Yida says you have to say Ani v'hu hoshiunu. Me and him. That's the literal translation of it. Ani v'hu, me and him, which probably goes on Hashem. Hoshiunu, help us. So what's pshat Ani v'hu hoshiunu? What is the definition of that and the meaning of it? So, Rashi, this is the only time in Shas where Rashi speaks about Kabbalah. Rashi goes out of his norm. And Rashi says, this is one of the Anivahu Begematria Unu Hashem, comes out to Unu Hashem. And Unu Hashem is one of the 72. In Kabbalah, there's this idea of Hashem having 72 shaimas, names, Shem Amfoirish. We can have a separate talk about what a name is. God doesn't have any names. God's names is how we communicate, how we understand what he is. So when Hashem is being Baal Chesed, we call him Yitkai Vufkai, because that's how our mind comprehends his love towards us. When he's being more of a stringent God and he's a God that Hashem that takes, an Hashem that takes Nekuma of his enemies. It's called Gevira, so that's Elikim. So but just like we call a table, the name of this is not a table, it's just wood put together, but it's the way we understand things. So this is one of the 72 names. And Rashi goes into detail that in this week's Parsha, and you can all look it up, it's Mem Hayim Ad Aleph Masechta Sikha. This week in the Parsha is hidden in the Psikim, Vahi Beshalach, Vayasa, Vayuvoy, Bamachna, Vayait. There are 72 words which indicate those 72 names. That it's a Shem Ayin Bais. It's one of Hashem's names that has 72 letters. Now, what does Rashi want over here? That's the obvious question. How does it relate to Aniva Hu Shiunu? So Tosfos ends it beautifully. If you look at towards the end of the Tosfos, and Tosfos says as follows, and this is how we're going to build the idea. Tosfos says that Aniva Hu Shiunu means what? What is Aniva Hu Shiunu? There's a pusik in Yirmiyah. The pusik says Vani betoch hagoylu. That's in Yecheskel, but Vihi user beziker. Vehi and he, the pusik that doesn't explicate on who we're talking about. Vehi, somebody, user bezikim, is bound in chains. So Tosfos says this goes out, and not Tosfos, it's probably the Mefarshim, it goes on Hashem. That Hashem is bound in chains with us in Gulas. Va'aniva hu eshirnu means we're asking Hashem not just help ourselves, you gotta help you. You gotta help yourself because you are bound in chains. So aniva hu, not just help us, when you're helping us, you're also helping yourself. So let's talk about this a little deeper. There's a B'nai Sosker. The B'nai Sosker says, the beginning on Chodesh Uder. The Gemara in Masechtas Baitze says like this: Horoitze she yamed nechus. If somebody wants to have success in business, in life, yate boy ador. That's what the Gemara says. He should plant an ador tree. It's a type of tree. How do we know? Because it says Ade Bamurem Hashem. That's what it says in the Pusik. So the B'nai Sosker asks, what is the connection? What does one have to do with the other? So he says a very fundamental Jewish idea that has to be instilled within all of us. The idea is as follows. What is the difference between Yetzias Mitzrayim and the Nes of Purim? What is the difference between these two Nisim? Yetzias Mitzrayim, by Yetzias Mitzrayim, the idea was that, listen, Hashem created a world. There's the sun, a moon, stars. There's a way that the sun shines up every day, and he lets everything run on the way he created it by creation. But when he wants, he comes and he changes it, like by Yetzias Mitzrayim, by the Makkos. He comes and he intervenes and he could change whatever he wants. But in general, unless he interferes in the daily runnings of the world, it runs the same way he created it by Shaishis Yimai Barashis. By the Nes of Purim, we found out, no. God actually controls every little aspect of our lives. God controls by the Purim, Esther, Motche, every little detail. We found out that it's not just everything runs the way it runs from Shai Shmai Barashis. Every little detail in your life is being controlled and maneuvered by Hashem. So he says like this: if somebody wants to have success in life, Yata boy Ada, instill in yourself the Nes of Uder, which is what? That God controls every little aspect of your life and you are not in control. Now let's take this idea one step further. When it says Vihi User Bezikim, when it says V'ni B'toch HaGoylu, what does that mean in reality? It means when somebody, let's talk about believing in Hashem, right? You believe in Hashem. What does that do to Hashem? What does that do to you? We have our own existence. We have our own life. If we choose to believe in Hashem, Hashem physically becomes part of your life because you believe in Him. If you don't believe in Him, the Gemara, the Medrash, I don't remember where it says, I don't remember offhand, but I remember there is such a Medrash where it says, Ze Kaili v'anvai, so the Medrash says, if it's Kaili, if it's my Hashem, anvai, then I exist. If you don't believe in me, I chaz v'shulam don't exist. And the truth of it is that is the fact. God only exists in your life if you believe in him. What does that mean? That means if you choose not to believe in Hashem, he's not going to exist in your life. And if you choose to believe that, listen, Hashem created a world and everything runs by itself. Yeah, and if I pray to him, if I daven to him, he helps me, but he doesn't really control every aspect of your life. That is going to be your reality. But if you believe, no, Hashem controls every little aspect of my life, if you truly believe that, then that becomes your reality. How do we know this? Because that's what the Pusik says. V'hi usid bezikim means when the Yidden went in Gulas, they were mentally chained, not just physically chained. Because after a tragedy, it becomes really hard. After the Second World War, a lot of people became non-religious for this reason, because they couldn't comprehend, they couldn't make sense of a good God with such suffering. So what happened? God himself became chained. He became limited. Less people believed in him. Less people believed in him on the level that he controls every little aspect. So the idea is to believe. If you believe that God controls every little aspect of your life, that becomes your reality. And he really does believe. And he really does control every aspect of your life. So over here, the Yidden, when it says in the Pusik, what it means is, they believed by Yetzias Mitzrayim that Hashem created the world, everything runs the way it should be, but when he wants, he comes and he changes it. But can he control every little aspect of their life? They had that issue within themselves, which is why they went, I need water. Let me see. This is the natural way of things. There shouldn't be water here. Can God control every little aspect of my life? I want meat. Slav comes. So it's sort of a limit schis on Klal Yisrael also, that they were trying to work out their own theology to see, does God exist in my life? So that's why forever this place is called Masu and Rivu, because it's not just we look at the Pusik, the Yidden, they just came out of Mitzrayim and this is already what no. They were working out a complex theological concept of, does God exist within me, Bekirbaini, that he controls every little aspect of my life. So this is what the Torah wants to indicate here. Now, when we say the Aruvas, when we say Boishana, Rabu, Aniva, Hoya, Shianu, we're asking Hashem, listen, you want us to help yourself. I know we want you to help us, but do it. That's what they say. Do it for yourself if you're not going to do it for us. Us and Hashem are connected at the hip. The second we cease to believe, he ceases to exist in our life. Now, we're not going to talk what he is. We don't understand what he is. There's no way a human brain can comprehend something that is within the realm of feeling, understanding, even emotions. We have a hard time comprehending because it's not physical. It's esoteric. So, al-achas kamo v'kamo, when it comes to Hashem, we cannot comprehend. What we can understand and control is what effect it has on our life. Can we instill Yate Boy Ador within ourselves? So we're telling Hashem, help us get you into our life, and by doing that, you'll help yourself. Anivo hu hoishiyunu. Not just for us, for yourselves, because the more we believe, the more we bring you into our life, the bigger you become. Zeikaili, when it becomes our God, when we instill it within ourselves, Hayash Hashem Bekirbaini, Va'anvaihi. That's the beauty of Hashem. He created this world, so we humans should believe in it. So what we can take from this parsha, this unbelievable idea, is that some people are like, we live in a society with a Shabbat and Moshe. People are looking for different, let's call it shortcuts, or let's call it connection, whatever you want to call it. People out there, I know we're this close to the Geilah, we're this far away from the Beis Hamikdash and all these things, but people are yearning. People's souls are empty and they're looking for connection. So what we can come and take out of this week is as follows. Instill God within your life, and he will be in your life. If your connection, God is with you as connected as you are with him. So let's all take out of this parsha to instill Hayash Hashem Bekirbaini. Let's believe that Hashem controls every little aspect of our life. And if you truly believe that, that's going to be a reality. Agit Shabbos.